Yeah, we've just real quickly jumping in. I realized after the breakdown that I, at the very end, briefly mentioned or rather reminded you of the rule that we implemented starting last week regarding champion packs, where they're now allowed to only be played in their side decks. But since we're going to be playing, this is going to be the first episode where we're actually playing with champion packs after implementing the rule, I just figured I'd remind you that. Just in case people want to skip ahead and miss that intro bit about talking that, I just wanted to have it here right at the start, so you just remember. And that's why we're not seeing game one. We're not seeing champion pack cards, and also like going forward, this will be a consistent thing. But yeah, last time I'm going to be reminding all of this since it's going to be on a temporary thing. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What is up, ladies and fellas, and welcome to another episode of Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, this time Gladiator's Assault as well as Champion Pack Game 4. So, as always, let's take a look at the set and see what we are working with. And right off the bat, Gladiator, Beast, Octavius. So, Gladiator Beasts are a new archetype that debuts in this set. And essentially, their whole gimmick is when they battle, most of them then shuffle themselves back to the deck, and then get out another Gladiator Beast. And when they get summoned with each other's effects, they then get extra effects. So I'll refer to that as the Glad Beast Shuffle effect to make things easier. But right at the bat, like Octavius, the sort of big boss monster, when it's special summoned by the effect of a Glad Beast monster, target a face down spell or trap in the spell trap zone and destroy it. And at the end of the battle phase, if this card attack was attacked, shuffle this card in the deck or discard one card. So most Glad Beasts will have this at the end of the battle phase. If this card attack or was attacked, shuffle this card in the deck and then special summon a Gladiator Beast out of it. But Octavius doesn't do that. Something to keep in mind. Triple of 6-Ham is a 6-Ham 2k wall. Cloudians, another archetype that debuts here. Smoke Ball is pretty unassuming, but we'll cover more about Cloudians. Evil Hero Malicious Edge is essentially just a Blade Edge, but for Evil Heroes. Evil Heroes also a new archetype, basically a different hero archetype. Have some similarities to Elemental Heroes, but yeah, Malicious Edge is essentially just a Blade Edge that you can summon with 1 tribute, which makes it pretty good, since it's a 2600 piercer. Infernal Gainer, during your main phase when you can banish this card from the field to target a fiend monster you control, and it can attack twice during each battle phase while you control it, and it's not just for the turn. And the once per turn during your second standby phase after this card banished for its own effect, you special summon it back in attack. For Cloudians, and Cloudians basically care about stuff like fog counters. Eye of the Typhoon is their boss monster, 3k beater, cannot be destroyed by battle, and if it pops itself, it's in the defense position. If it declares an attack, you change the battle position for all phase monsters except Cloudians. Ghost Fog is a 0/0 level 1, cannot be spell or summoned, and neither player expel them from attacks involved in the card. And if it is destroyed by battle, then you distribute fog counters equal to the level of the monster and destroyed it among face of monsters. Nimbus Man also cannot be destroyed by battle, just like Eye of Typhoon. It's a level 5 with 1000 stats. If it's in face of defense position, you destroy it. And you can tribute any number of water monster for the tribute summon off this card. And if this card is tribute summoned, you place a fog counter for each water monster you tributed. And then gains 500 for each fog counter on the field. Or an attack, sorry. Sheep Cloud level 1/0/0. If it's destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard, you spell summon 2 Cloudian tokens in defense position, and they can only be used as tributes for a Cloudian monster. Pussy Cloud level 3 with 1000 defense when destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard. If it was face up, at the start of damage step, you destroy the monster that destroyed it and burn your opponent for 800. Acid Cloud cannot be destroyed by battle, is a 500 attack monster, and if it's in face of defense position, you destroy it. If it's normal summon, you place a fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster in the field, and you can remove 2 fog counters from the card to pop a back row. Seer Stratus is a 900 attacker that cannot be destroyed by battle. If it's in face of defense position, destroy it. If it's normal summon, place a fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster in the field. You can remove 2 fog counters from it to pop a monster on the field. It has targeting though. Atlas, I love the card of Altus cannot be destroyed by a battle, and once again it pops itself if it's in defense position face up. If it's normal summon, you place a fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster in the field, and you can remove 3 to make your opponent discard a card. And finally, Turbulence cannot be destroyed by battle. It has the defense position effect. If it's normal summon, you place a fog counter on it for each Cloudian monster in the field, and you can remove 1 on it to spell summon Smoke Ball from your deck or graveyard. And none of these fog counter removal effects are once per turn, which is interesting enough. The reason why I went over these is like, I doubt that we're gonna see it, but I think Cloudians are an extensive and interesting enough archetype that I wanted to give them some attention. But I don't think we'll be seeing them, unfortunately. Then we have some more Roids. Truck Roid, when it destroys an opponent monster by battle lands into the graveyard, you equip it to Truck Roid and it gains attack to all the monsters combined to it. But unfortunately, it has 1000 attack by default, which makes it not very good. 2k Waldo. Self Roid, when it attacks, you pop a back row at the end of the battle phase if you control another Roid monster. Terrible. And Express Roid, when summoned in any way, you add 2 Roid monster from your grave to your hand. And then we get to most of the Glad Beasts, and I don't want to make this 20 minutes long, these set breakdown, so I'll try to cover these only by just assume that everything will have the Glad Beast effect, which I referred to earlier. So Alexander can only be spell summoned with the effect of Dimakari. It's unaffected by the effects of spell cards if it was specialed, and it has the battle phase Glad Beast effect. And always to add to the Glad Beast shuffle effect, they can summon each other. So they can summon the same card. Like Alexander cannot summon Alexander, for example. But yeah, it's a level 6 with 2400. Spartacus, a level 5, 2200, can only be special summoned with Hoplomys. When special summoned, you add a Glad Beast equipped spell card from your deck to the hand, and then it has the shuffle effect. Murmillo also has the shuffle effect when special summoned by the shuffle effect of another Glad Beast. You target a face-up monster and pop it. Bestiari also has the shuffle effect, and when summoned by the shuffle effect, you pop a spell trap. Laquari and Hoplomys also have the shuffle effects, and they both gain 300 attack for Laquari and 300 defense for Hoplomys, respectively, if summoned by the shuffle effect. Dimakari, if summoned by the shuffle effect, it can attack twice, 1600 beater. Sector, if it was summoned by the shuffle effect, you, at the end of the battle phase, spell summon 2 Glad Beast monsters, assuming that Sector obviously lives. Test Tape is a support card for Glad Beast, where when it's destroyed by battle lands into the graveyard, you can special summon a Glad Beast from your deck. This does not count as a Glad Beast though, so it doesn't get the procs of being summoned from the deck, and it has to be a level 4 or lower. And Witch Doctor Sparta is synergy / anti-synergy for Glad Beast, since it's a 2k wall where you burn your opponent for 500 each time a monster is spell summoned from either player's deck. Then we have just a bunch of Gemini stuff that's not really relevant. Goblin Black Ops is a 1300 beater that can attack your opponent directly, which is interesting enough to mention, I think, since this can be used for a game. When you do it, it's change to defense has the basically goblin effect, where it changes to defense position at the end of the battle phase and then it has to remain in battle for the next turn. But if you are willing to sacrifice your normal summon for that, you can use it for basically a guaranteed 1300, which is nice. Then we have some more 6 AMs. We have Enishi, Shien's Chancellor, 2200 attacker. Can't be normal summoned, must be spell summoned by banishing 2 6 AMs from your grave. And once per turn, you can target a face monster and pop it. And when you activate the effect, it can attack. Pretty good, actually. Spirit of 6 AM, 500. It's a Unia monster for 6 AM. Then we have a couple alien cards in. Then we to the fusions. There are actually some pretty interesting fusions here. So Chaos Neos is a Neos fusion of Neos and 2 different Neos patients, which makes it very gimmicky. Plasma Vice, Sparkman plus Blade Edge, must be fusion summoned, inflicts piercing, and you can discard a card to pop your opponent's attack position monster. Pretty good, actually. Inferno Wing must be summoned with Dark Fusion. This is the evil fusion of Avian Emperor's Genetrix. If it inflicts piercing damage, and then it has the effect of Flame Wingman, where essentially when you destroy a monster by battle and send it to graveyard, you burn your opponent. But Inferno Wing checks for the attack or defense, whichever is higher, instead of only being attack. Lightning Golem must also be special with Dark Fusion. It's the Dark Fusion equivalent of Thunder Giant, Sparkman, and Clayman. And once per turn, you can target a monster on the field and pop it. Unlike Thunder Giant, you don't have to discard for it, or you don't have the limitation to attack. Then we have Evil Hero Dark Gaia, which is just a fiend monster and a rock monster. Once again, Dark Fusion. And the it gets attack equal to its materials. And then when it declares an attack, you can flip all your, change all of your opponent's defense monsters to attack. Stealth Union is a quad fusion of Truckroid, Exploroid, Drillroid, and Stealthroid, and once per turn you can target a offensive non-machine monster in the field to equip it to this card, and then when equipped like this, Super Vehicroid, Stealth Union can attack all your opponent's monsters, but whenever it attacks, whether it's using the effect or just normally, it only attacks for half of its damage, and it deals piercing. It's a 4-roid fusion. We're never going to see this. Raptinus is irrelevant since it's a Gemini thing. Gyarados is a fusion of Spartacus and another Glad Beast monster. Also a contact fusion. And when it destroys my monster by battle and send it to the graveyard, you burn your opponent for the defense of the monster. And then this can have the battle phase a Glad Beast shuffle effect, but it being a fusion, it gets you 2 Glad Beasts instead of 1. Heraclinos is Lakwari plus 2 additional Glad Beast monsters, and then during either player's turn, when a back row is activated, you can discard a card to negate the effect. Doesn't have the shuffle effect, but it is a triple fusion, so you probably wouldn't want to do it anyway. Contact Out returns a Neos fusion monster to the extra to get back. Basically, the materials used for it. Dark Fusion is the fusion spell, basically the polymerization needed for the Evil Hero fusions, and additionally, it gives it protection from card effects for the turn. Summon Cloud. Once per turn during your main phase, you can spell summon a Cloudium monster that's level 4 or lower from your hand or either graveyard, as long as you don't control monsters. And then if you summon a monster from the grave, it gets popped. Like a Cloud during the end phase, if you summon 2 or more Cloudium monsters with the same name, this turn draw 2 cards. Fog Control tributes a Cloudium monster to place 3 fog counters on a monster on the field. Cloudium Squall places fog counters during your standby phase once per turn. So the Cloudiums actually have pretty good spell support. Colosseum Cage of the Glad Beasts is Glad Beasts' field spell, where essentially every time a monster spell summon for either player's deck, you place a counter on it and you boost the attack and defense of all Glad Beasts for each of the counters, and then you can discard an additional copy of Colosseum from your hand if it would ever be popped. Then we have some Glad Beast equips. Battle Halberd, when the monster attacks, pops a spell or trap at the end of the damage step. Gladius gives 300 attack, and Battle Manika gives a battle protection, but you still apply damage calculation. And all of these have the same effect where if the monster that it's equipped to returns to the deck from your side of the field, and then because of that, this card obviously gets sent to the grave, it instead goes back to your hand. Glad Beast Respite shuffles 2 Glad Beasts from your hand in the deck to draw 3. Gladiator's Return, targets 3 Glad Beasts in your grave to shuffle all 3 in the deck and then draws 1. Then we have a Soul Devouring Bamboo Sword. I think we've seen Bamboo Sword in the past, but basically if you have a Bamboo Sword equipped to a monster, you can equip it with this, and then if it inflicts battle damage to your opponent while with a Bamboo Sword, they skip their next draw phase, and then this gets popped during your second standby phase after activation, so you can just infinitely keep your opponent locked. They learned something from Yadagaru. And then we have one 6 AM spell where you send a 6 AM to the grave and then special summon a 6 AM from the grave. And then we have more alien support in a cell incubator. Probably not going to see aliens here though, because there aren't enough, unfortunately. We have Natural Disaster is just a burn spell for Cloudians, and Rainstorm is conditional back row popping. Updraft, more burn. Light Imprisoning and Shadow Imprisoning Mirror are interesting side deck cards where you can use them against a specific strategy. Happy to see this now and not next week, I'll just say that much. But yeah, they their continuous traps negates all respective attributes, monster effects in the field or the grave. This time returns a Glad Beast from the hand to the deck to negate the activation of a spell card, so it has the specific, it's essentially like, it doesn't discard, it gets them back to the deck, and it has to specifically be a Glad Beast. Parry does the same thing for trap cards. Swift Strike, armor for 6 AMs. Same thing with double edge sword technique. 6 Strike basically means that when you draw a 6 AM, you can spell summon it immediately. And double edge sword technique special summons you 2 6 AMs from the grave, but they get popped at the end of the turn, and you burn yourself for their attack. Then we have some more alien stuff. This set is huge. I'm so sorry, I've been going on for a long time, but most of this stuff here is very irrelevant. Necrophase is interesting, where if you have so much banishing in your deck, you can use it to recycle cards. Royal Firestorm cards is interesting. This would have been very interesting for Volcanics when it's normal summon to target 4 power monsters in your grave to shuffle them into the deck and draw 2. So it reshuffles things. Screech is also interesting when destroyed by battle. You send 2 water monsters from your deck to the graveyard, so a foolish burial for waters. But the last cards that I'll talk about in the main set were Thorax, when spell summoned by the Glad Beast shuffle effect at the end of the battle phase, you can return this to a deck to draw 1. So instead of getting getting back a Glad Beast, you draw. And Test Tiger, if you control a phase of Glad Beast monster, you can special summon this from your hand, and you can tribute this to target a phase of Glad Beast monster you control and shuffle it into the deck. And basically, you can tribute this to get the Glad Beast shuffle effect without actually having to battle. So works as battle protection to proc the effects. And then let's talk about Champion Pack Game 4. Sorry, that was a lot to talk about there. So this is going to be a little bit longer. I'll be much briefer with this since it's all stuff we've seen before. Ultimate Offering makes its return once again. Same thing with Bottomless. Trap Hole, Hydrogeddon, Apprentice Magician, also very good to thin your deck. We've seen these as well. Confiscation rears its ugly head once again. Just an insanely good discard card. Phoenix Blade is interesting. Return from the different dimension. I don't think we have enough banishing to make this insane, but obviously a very broken card. Cypher Soldier is interesting in case we end up seeing like the hero fusion, since they are warriors, because obviously we've seen this already as well. Case 2000, attack and defense when battling a warrior type monster. Soul Exchange, Mother Grizzly, Gitganti is probably not really going to be relevant here. Manju is very good, obviously, for rituals, but we're not going to be seeing rituals here. A DD Survivor is an 1800 beater, where if you banish it, it gets resummoned back. But for the most part, it's just a good beat stick. And Treeborn Fog if you want some fodder for tributes. And as you saw, last week, and I'll probably have it at the start of this week as well, since it's now relevant. From this point forward, like, we are allowed to only play champion pack cards in our side decks. So we will not be seeing these in game 1, luckily, but there are a few cards here that we will definitely be seeing after that. So sorry for the very lengthy set breakdown, and thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the deck building section next.
Okay, so Gladass, everybody's favorite. Everybody loves Gladass. Gladass gave us Gladiator Beast, everybody's favorite, only good archetype from GX that never came out of it. Outside of maybe Cyber Dragons, but like in GX, these cards were good. And after GX, these cards were good. And arguably, they could probably still be good if they got solid amounts of modern support, which I think they've got a decent amount. But overall, these cards are like the best cards that we've had in this entire series so far, with cards that I would argue that like are almost modern in design, such as Test Tiger. But yes, we'll get to that in a second. Let's start off with Drillroid. Drillroid is in here because of the fusion monster that is tied to cards in this. I don't remember which one it is exactly right now. I would actually have to check that. Let me just do that in case it's important and in case stupid. No, effect monster, fusion monster. Wait. Super Vehicle Stealth Union. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it has Truckroid, Explosiroid, Drillroid, and Stealthroid, yeah. So Drillroid is in here because of Hoplomus. Hoplomus being probably the best starter in this entire set. And also Test Tape being a really good set one. Like set turn one. And there's also Clayman, but I don't think Weebfox is going to be playing Clayman. I am playing Clayman with Sparkman and with Dark Fusion for a specific meme. But yes, Drillroid is, as we've already established, a really good card to deal with defensive options. I've already rage quit once off of a Drillroid turn 1. But yes, it destroys any monster, any defense position monster that it battles without like battling it. Then we have Infernal Gainer, which is also here for the meme that I was just talking about with Sparkman, Clayman, and Dark Fusion. It's a level 4, 1600 attack power fiend, evil hero Infernal Gainer. During your main phase, you can... that's a new hero archetype, guys, by the way. That's the 3rd hero archetype, by the way. And it's kinda ass for 20 fucking years. And then they print 3 good cards, and then Omni Hero has to start playing Evil Hero. Because now Omni Hero has to rely on... Sorry, we'll get past that. So, Infernal Gainer has the effect of, during your main phase 1, you can banish this card from the field. Then target one fiend monster you control. That target can make a second attack during each battle phase while you control the face up. Once per turn during your second standby phase, after this card was banished to activate the effect, special summon this card in attack position. So this card specifically interacts with the card that it's meant to summon, but we'll get to that in a bit. Bestiary, Gladiator Beast, Bestiary. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, target one spell trap on the field, destroy that target. Okay. And then there's the universal, like quote-unquote universal. It's not quite universal, but all the ones that you want to play have this effect. All the Gladiator Beasts have an effect of, at the end of the battle phase, if this card was attacked or was attacked, you can shuffle it into the deck. Special summon one Gladiator Beast from your deck, except this card. Except the card, a card with the same name. And that effect is really good because it enables you to put basically one-offs. Like, I'm playing 4 one-offs for Gladiator Beasts because odds are you're not going to draw into them. Odds are you're going to be able to shuffle them back into the deck. And the only ones that you want multiples of are the ones that you want to be attacked or you want to attack with. So yeah, we have one-off Bestiary because it's a spell trap destroyer, and we don't really need multiples of these because normal summoning a 1.5 thousand into a format where we have 1 billion cards that are bigger than it, like by default, is just suicide basically. So instead, we're opting to use our main deck as a toolbox, which is what Gladiator Beasts enable for you to do. It's like how rank 4s in the future will use their extra deck purely to have options that are like all rank 4s that come off of 2 level 4s with destroy spell trap, destroy monster, bounce monster, burn, and so on and so forth. Gladiator Beasts are like the first instance of a deck being consistent at doing something like that I can think of at least. Then we have Dimakari. Dimakari has the same effect of it when it's attacked or it attacks, shuffle it in the deck, special summon a Glad Beast. And it also has the effect of if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast. Now you understand why you would, like, how you would get these effects going. Same with Bestiary. You would attack with like Hoplomus or even Lakari, and then you would summon Bestiary to pop a spell trap at the end of the battle phase. So Dimakari has the effect of if it's special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast, it can attack twice during each battle phase. Pretty good overall, I'd say. 3.2k attack or damage total is really strong. Sure, it's only gonna be it's gonna have a turn delay, and that's gonna be a problem because you won't get to attack with it until the next turn after you summon it. But yeah, Hoplomus. Hoplomus is the best one, I would say, with Lakari in this set. If this card is special with the effect of a Gladiator Beast, its original defense becomes 2.4,000. Really good. And again, the same effect that all the other ones have so far. Lakari has the effect of his summoned by special by Gladiator Beast effect. Its original attack becomes 2.1,000. Again, really good because a lot of the cards in this set just crumble to it. The only exception being Hoplomus itself. Then we have, like, that's why we're playing Theory of it, because it doesn't crumple to Lakari and nothing else in the set other than Drill Ward can get over. Then we have Murmillo. Murmillo is another one of the toolbox cards. It has the effect of when it's special summoned, you can destroy one face-up monster on the field. And then we have Spartacus. Spartacus is here more because of the fact that he is a card that goes into a fusion. And he also searches for one card in the deck, which is just here specifically because it's just a valuable like search. You just get a free search, so why not? And he's only special summonable off of Hoplomus. You cannot special summon him off of any of the other ones. But when you special summon him, you add a Glad Beast equip spell from your deck to your hand, and at the end of the battle phase, if this was attacked, you can do the same effect as normal. Yeah. Then we have Dark Panther, which is in here because of the fact that, well, Weebfox is going to be playing Gladiator Beasts, right? It's obvious that we're both going to be playing Gladiator Beasts. So Dark Panther as an option against Gladiator Beasts is super fucking interesting because it can just yoink the name of a Gladiator Beast and the effect of a Gladiator Beast. So you just summon it, you, let's say, yoink Lakari or even Hoplomus, let's say it's face up, and you just tag it out into Darius. And after you swing into something, you tag it out for Darius. Assuming Hoplomus is on the field, you tag it. You swing it into Hoplomus, you lose a couple of thousand life points, but then you use Hoplomus effect to summon Darius, and Darius activates effect, and so on and so forth. It's pretty good. It's real nice. There's some issues with a Gladiator Beast mirror match because of the fact that these effects are, for example, Murmillo and Spartacus are both win effects, so they can miss timing. So if you're on defense, you don't have priority. So when you attack into when your opponent attacks into a Hoplomus, for example, if your opponent activates their effects first and then you activate your effects next. So you summon Spartacus on Chainlink 2 and they summon Spartacus on Chainlink 1, which means that, well, actually it's not Chainlink 1. It is just Chainlink 1. You don't get your Spartacus effect off because it misses timing, whereas with your opponent, they will get the effect off because they don't miss timing. We haven't really experienced many timing misses in this series so far, so it's gonna be interesting discussing this during the episode. But yeah, Dark Panther is a interesting gimmick card. Test Tape, this is basically just a giant rat for Glad Beasts, simple as. Test Tiger is a weird card. I mentioned how I think this card is basically a modern card in like Jeexx. If you control face-up Gladiator Beast monster, you can special summon this card. You contribute this card to target one face-up Gladiator Beast monster you control. Shuffle that target into the deck. Then special summon one Gladiator Beast monster from your deck and treat it as if it was special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster. So it basically goes into any of these, except Spartacus, off of Test Tiger and another Glad Beast. And that's interesting because that means that you can enable it to happen on turn 1 or turn 2. Turn 1, not really relevant. Turn 2, actually really relevant because you can take over the game off of a 1 turn 2 play. Then we have Clayman and Sparkman. We've already covered these cards multiple times. Then we have Dark Fusion. A Dark Fusion is a fusion spell specifically for Fiend Fusion monsters. And when you fuse using this card, your opponent cannot target with your opponent cannot target it with card effects this turn. Yeah, And that's about it. This effect is kind of whatever, honestly. Gladiator Beast's Battle of Gladius is the equipped spell that I chose for Spartacus. It has the effect of it gains 300 attack, and when the equipped monster is returned from your side of the field to the deck and discard is in the graveyard, you can bounce this card back to your hand. Then we have some, well, not consistency boosters, but like draw spells. I guess it's a consistency booster. Shuffle 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your hand to the deck, then draw 3 cards. Fairly okay. Gladiator's Return. Target 3 Gladiator Beast cards in your graveyard. Shuffle all 3 targets into the deck. Draw 1 card. And you have Soul Taker, which is simply a upstart goblin, but it destroys a monster. A face-up monster. Defensive Tactics is a Waboku if you control a Glad Beast and you shuffle this card back into the deck when it resolves. Then we have Disarm, which is a spell negate if you bounce a Glad Beast from your return a Glad Beast from your hand to the deck. No entry is an Earthquake. I think it's an Earthquake. Yeah. And then we have Parry, which is return 1 Glad Beast from your hand to the deck and negate a trap card. Then we have Drillroid again, and then we have the Champion Pack 4 cards. Now this is the kind of stuff that I specifically did not want like being in the main deck anymore from Champion Pack. Confiscation. Imagine we would be playing 3 copies of Confiscation and turn 1 you just fucking go off. You set up 1 Hoplomus, you do double Confiscation, and your opponent is sitting there with 3 cards in their hand, none of which are Glad Beasts, and you're just like, yeah, fuck me. But yeah, and then we have a 3rd copy of Dark Fusion if I want to go for more memes. Soul Taker, Bottomless Trap Hole, another card that basically shits on almost every single relevant card in the set. So preferably not in the main deck right now, because there's really no good ways of dealing with it. There's no spell trap removal, so you can't even play around it in that sense. There's only Bestiary, but Bestiary fucking dies to trap a Bottomless. So, Parry and Disarm at 2 copies each, if I want to play 3. And then 2 copies of Ultimate Offering, which could be good. Could be good because of stuff like setting up multiple Hoplomuses and whatnot, because there's no easy way to remove them. Then we get to the extra deck, and the extra deck is full of surprises this time. We have Evil Heroes. We have a Evil Hero, Dark Gaia, which requires 1 Fiend monster and 1 Rock monster. It must be special summon with the effect of Dark Fusion. The original attack of this card becomes the combined attacks of the materials used for its fusion summon. Original attacks too, by the way. When this card declares an attack, you can change all defense position monsters your opponent controls to face-up attack position. So this is why you would use like Infernal Gainer, for example, so you could get multiple attacks off with this guy when it's a big fucking massive wall. Now the issue is there's only 1 Fiend and 1 Rock in this entire set that's relevant. So it's a 2,300 beat stick that makes your opponent turn all their cards into attack position. It can't even attack all of them. You can only attack 1 of them, which is shit. Or we have the Flame Wingman equivalent, must be fusion of Dark Fusion. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. If it destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to them equal to the original attack or defense, whichever is higher, if the monster that was destroyed. Then we have Lightning Golem, which is just a better version of fucking Thunder Giant. Yeah, Thunder Giant. I blanked out there. And then we have the actual good fusions for this set. Gaiodias and Heraklinos. Yes, Heraklinos. These are contact fusions. And unlike what we've seen with Neos or even the XYZ shit, these things are good. So this requires a Gladiator Beast Spartacus and Gladiator Beast monster, general in any Gladiator Beast monster. So it's fairly generic. You just need Spartacus, which is why I play Wana. And then you have the effect of when this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the defense of the destroyed monster. And at the end of the battle phase, if this attacked or was attacked, you can return it to the extra deck and special summon 2 Gladiator Beasts from your deck, except Spartacus. So that's really good. I would say that this is like legitimately a threatening card, because first off, it's a Flame Wingman with 2,600 attack, and on top of that, it tags out into useful cards that can clear the field more. Holy fuck. Then we have Heraklinos, which is a less like generic. It's still generic in the sense that it requires only 2 Gladiator Beast monsters and a specific monster, but it requires 3 monsters, so it's hard to get out. Again, contact fusion during either player's turn. When a spell or trap card is activated, you can discard 1 card and negate the activation and destroy it. This thing doesn't tag out. But yeah, these two cards are probably what we're going to be aiming for in this set, most because the fact that 3000 beat stake with a spell trap negate is pretty good, and a card that basically allows you to go back to your game plan is pretty good as well. But that about does it. I think this set is one of the coolest and most exciting sets we've had in a long time. So hopefully the games reflect that. Yeah, good luck with the games.
And welcome back, guys and gals, and here's what we're gonna be playing today. I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit. Usually I do the set breakdowns and deck breakdowns back to back, so like I take a look at the set beforehand and sort of build my deck, and then I know what I talked about in the set for sure, so I know what I have to talk about here. But now due to some stuff like there's been a little bit of a pause between these, but I still think it's still the same day, so I still think I remember what I talked about, and I'll try to be brief with my deck breakdown, especially today since the set breakdown was so absolutely massive, so I'll try to be brief here. But yeah, we're playing Glad Beasts. I think the archetype is sick. I think Glad Beast is one of the earlier like archetypes that I actually like genuinely think is so cool, and I really enjoy it, so I definitely wanted to play it. Also helps that I think the archetype is very good. So starting us off, we have a single Alexander. Alexander is the biggest main deck Glad Beast that we are playing. We're not playing Octavius because the condition where you have to shuffle him in the deck without getting anything back or discard a card is quite steep, so that's why we don't want to be playing him. Alexander is only 100 points less, and it gives itself a spell card immunity, but mostly it's here because it's just a big thing. Also, it can only be summoned by Dimakari, which we are only playing 2 of, so I definitely don't want to play more of Alexander. Spartacus is a level 5, we're playing 2 of it, 2200 attack, can only be special summoned by Hoplomys, which makes it a little bit annoying to use, but when it's special summoned, you add a Glad Beast equipped spell to your hand from your deck. And the reason why Spartacus is important is because one of our 2 relevant extra deck cards actually uses Spartacus. Bestiary, 3 copies, probably the best one. 1500 body is pretty decent, pops a back row when it is summoned by another Glad Beast. Murmillo, only 800, basically the equivalent to Bestiary but for monster pops. 2 Dimakari can attack twice if summoned by a Glad Beast. Hoplomys becomes a 2400 wall, already being the best wall in the set by default, makes it pretty damn good. Luckwarrior becomes a 2100 beater if summoned by a Glad Beast. Also, that is the monster we need for our other fusion, so that's what makes it important. Test Tiger is just a free body on the field that gives you a Glad Beast shuffle effect without having the battle, since if you control a Glad Beast monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand, and you can tribute it to shuffle a Glad Beast you control to the deck, and then spell summon another Glad Beast from the deck. So this will allow us to proc the battle effects for stuff like Murmillo, and maybe even like Hoplomys if we really need to get to Spartacus, without having to actually battle with them, since the Test Tiger effect counts as being summoned by a Glad Beast. To test type, this is just to get a Glad Beast on the field. I didn't want to go too monster heavy, that's why we only have 2 copies of it. And finally, 3 Witch Doctor or Sparta. This is another wall for us that also, when face them on the field, we deal 500 burn damage to our opponent every time a monster spell summoned from either player's deck. Also, something that's going to be scary if Jeexx ends up playing this, because I very clearly declared that like I'm absolutely playing Glad Beasts, because I just love the archetype. As for the spells, we have 3 Colosseum Cage of the Gladiator Beast, just simple power boosting for Glad Beast whenever a Glad Beast is summoned from either player's deck, and it even has a little bit of protection, so if you have multiple copies of if you activate one, that would be getting popped, you can protect it by discarding another one from your hand. Then for the relics or the equips of the Glad Beast, we have 2 Gladius, just simple attack boosting. This makes it so that we can more easily actually activate their battle effects, but since they're going to be bigger. One battle halberd, just in case there's some back row that we really need to deal with on top of stuff like bestiary. And then 3 battle manica. This is just battle protection, which I feel like is just going to be very important. We still take the battle damage, but this will allow us to swing stuff like Murbella and Hoplomers to keep our Glad Beasts effects flowing. A single Gladiator's return. This is essentially a archetypal Pot of Avarice, but it's only 3, but it only also draws you 1 card. But this is going to be nice if the games get really grindy, and we can shuffle a Glad Beast back to reuse them. Also, we have 3 Gaiodas, only 2 Spartacus, so if the games are so slow that we can actually somehow get into 3 Gaiodas, that will allow us to do this as well. Then for the traps, we have a single disarm. The cost of having to have this on the field and also having a Glad Beast card on your hand to shuffle back the deck to negate a spell card is quite deep. Or, sorry, steep rather. Luckily, all of the equips count off Gladiator Beast cards as well. I was considering playing another one of these, but I'm not sure what Jeexx is going to be playing. Maybe he'll be on Glad Beast as well. And but the biggest thing that I have disarm here for is like any deck is going to play some spell cards. He will definitely sign in stuff like Confiscation, which then we get to at least pick what we send back to the deck instead of him picking a card to discard. So that helps for that as well. And finally, he's a hero player. I don't want to silver bullets things, but Dark Fusion is terrifying. Like Lightning Golem, Inferno Wing, they're actually really good. That was actually something that I was a little bit considering on playing as well, because I do like heroes as well, but I do prefer Glad Beasts. I think their debut makes it cool, and I think there's a very good chance that Jeexx is going to be playing evil heroes. Hopefully so. I think it would be cool to see. Then we have 2 defensive tactics. If you control a face-up Glad Beast for the rest of the turn, monster cannot be destroyed by battle, and all battle damage you take is reduced to 0. This is a archetypal Waboku, but after it resolves, it goes to the bottom of your deck instead of your grave, which it probably doesn't matter for us. Like, it could be good since we don't have a way of using it in the grave, and maybe we get to use it multiple times since we're shuffling our deck a lot. I covered this entirely because I don't think I talked about it in the set breakdown. Another card that I don't think I talked about in the set breakdown is Security Orb. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you target the attacking monster and change its battle position. And then if it's destroyed when it's set, you send to the grave, you pop a monster on the field, which is a mandatory effect. So if only you have a monster, then you'll have to pop your own monster, which is a little bit unfortunate. But this is something that we have here for game 1. When it comes to games 2 and 3, we will be siding into a lot of our champion back game 4 package. So all of our cards except for 1, that being Light Imprisoning Mirror, which negates light monster effects on the field or in the graveyard, which is solo here for Lightning Golem, is everything here is from Champion Pack. So this is sort of a half like just good stuff and half like stuff against specific decks. I'm not too worried about Cloudians. I'll be real. Like, I think our main deck, if Jeexx ends up going Cloudians, will do perfectly fine. But for heroes, we have Light Imprisoning Mirror as well as Cypher Soldier. Cypher Soldier, obviously for heroes, is going to be insanely hard of getting over with anything that isn't exactly Lightning Golem, which is why we have Light Imprisoning Mirror. I would have liked to have multiple, but we have more ways of dealing with it, and I feel pretty good with those. 3 Hydro Gadon, this is just a very good card. This is something to help us swarm the field. If Jeexx ends up playing something like Cloudian, we'll probably play Hydro Gadon, because it can just overwhelm him with the swarming. Confiscation, obviously an insanely broken card. Those life points, you just pick and discard any card from your opponent's hand. Insanely good. 2 Ultimate Offering. We've seen this so many times now. We are playing Contact Fusions. We want to be swarming the field. It's just incredible for us. Would have liked to play 3, but can't really fit it. And finally, 3 Bottle Blast Trap Hole. When your opponent summons a monster with 1500 or more, attack you, destroy it, and then banish it. This is to deal with all of the big bosses for any deck, essentially. I mean, maybe he's on Glad Beast and some of like basically anything relevant we can deal with is with this. Maybe something like Hydrogeno, we can also deal with this. Any of the scary heroes. Even I have Typhoon from Cloudians. Bottom Blast just does everything. So that's like Security Orb will definitely be replaced by that in games 2 and 3. But yeah. The extra deck, most of it doesn't matter. I'll just fill it as is tradition. But what matters is 3 Gaiodas and 3 Heraklinos. So Gaiodas is a fusion of Spartacus and another Glad Beast. And then when this destroys a monster by battle, you inflict burn damage to the to your opponent equal to the defense of the monster destroyed. And then it has the shuffle effect, but being a fusion, it gets you 2 Glad Beasts instead of 1. Heraklinos is a confusion of Lakwari and 2 Glad Beast monsters. It does not have the shuffling effect, and during either player's turn, you can discard a card to negate the activation of a back row. And it is not once per turn, so as long as you have cards in your hand, you can do it. But if this gets popped, then the effect doesn't get resolved. But these are just like big payoffs for us to go into. But yeah, I am very excited for the episode. Like I said, like I think Glad Beasts are such an insanely fun archetype. I think they're so cool, and I'm happy to be finally being able to play them. Hopefully I'll play it properly, and it'll be interesting to see what Jeexx ends up bringing to the table. I'm hoping he plays Evil Heroes, so we get to see those, because I think those are also super cool. But it might be a Glad Beast mirror as well, or maybe he's smoking and ends up playing Cloudians for whatever reason. But yeah, regardless, it'll be very interesting to see. So thank you for watching the deck breakdowns, and I will see you all in the dueling zone next. What is up, ladies and lads, and welcome back to the Historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey, and this time we're back with a Gladiator's Assault as well as ChamP4, and I think this is our first episode. Actually, no, I don't think. I know this is our first episode with champion packs where the new rule actually matters. So I'll have a reminder at the start of the episode, but just in case you came directly here, so champion packs going forward are only allowed to be played in the side deck. So they aren't gonna be that polarizing as they've been a couple times in the past. But Jeexx, how are you feeling about today's episode?
I feel like champion packs have assaulted our previous set experiences in a way that I can't even begin to describe. I did it.
I'll be honest, I think that might be the worst one. That's fine. I think that might.
I'm super glad we have arrived
going to assault you physically if you keep talking. Go ahead and throw out your rock.
Ah, you thought it was gonna be rock, but it was actually rock.
Anyways,
one of these days.
Best of luck, duelist. Both of us having a full extra deck. Beautiful. Oh, this is
amazing.
This is certainly one of the hands of all time.
It's over.
I am actually.
It's over for you.
I'll be honest. I didn't know that a hand like this was actually a possibility. Even. I'll just set a monster and pass.
Haha! It is so Drover. I will normal summon Drillroid, and I will attack your face down.
Yep.
Guys.
The Witch Doctor of Sparta will go to the grave if Dueling Book allows me to. Yep.
I was expecting that to be Haplomus, I must say. You know?
Yeah, that's very fair. I guess we can do something with this. Let's start by normal summoning a Bestiary. Is that okay?
Yeah, and then Test Tiger.
And then we will activate the Gladiator Beast Battle Gladius, equipping it to Bestiary.
That's stupid. Yeah.
And then we will proceed to the battle phase. Whoa, the side is... Whoa, we're running slow today.
Hell
Attempt to
yeah.
swing for
200.
200.
And then you will tag it out at the end of the battle phase?
Yeah, at the end of the battle phase, we will shuffle it back to the deck. This will go to our hand, and then we will get out another Glad Beast. And... Imagine if this was during the battle phase and whatever you got like could swing.
That would
and
be
it's
broken.
like just an infinite right away.
Yeah, that they would never do that back in 2007. You know, Test Tiger is a card that they could have printed this year.
This Tiger
And
is... It's like feels like a
insane.
modern card.
Yeah. It's legitimately kind of impressive.
Yeah. There's no way you have another Drillroid waiting, right?
Right, clueless.
Honestly, I still think we'll go for... Does it make sense? Yeah, sure. We'll go for a Laquari.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just do this to mark the attack boost. Then we'll go mate 2. Do I care about equipping it back?
I mean, it's got 2,100 attack
I don't think there's anything... If you get heroes...
I'm just gonna have to point out...
I'll just do this.
Neos is in the set.
Yep.
Fear the Neos. Also Blade Edge. Is in the set.
Yeah. Or the whatever the Fiend equivalent of it is, but...
Yeah. I'm gonna activate a Soul Taker.
Alright.
Yeah.
And I will take a... Oh, I will gain 8,000. I almost threw that.
Yeah.
And these go to the grave.
It's the Ricastro Goblin what the fuck you want to call this? And then I will normal summon Dimakari.
Yep.
And I will attack.
I will take 1,600.
Okay. And then at the end of the battle phase, I will put Dimakari into the deck. And I will special summon a... I will special summon Laquari in attack position.
Yep.
The attack bonus. And then I
Seems
will
pretty good.
pass.
I will take the turn. That's actually interesting. Yeah, I'll just pass.
Oh, okay. That's surprising. Well, activate Gladiator Beast Respite to shuffle.
You're playing this card? You're actually crazy.
It's cards, by the way. It's not.
Yeah,
monsters,
I know. If it was monsters, this would probably be the worst.
Yeah.
You could have just summoned those on the field and then put them in the deck, so then I know you're not cheating. But obviously, I'll trust you.
Well,
so
I can just
prove it to you. You didn't have to do that, but yeah.
Yeah, just
obviously, I trust you, but yeah.
Yeah.
Weird flex, but all right.
Yeah. It's one of them elemental heroes. You know them, right? They're pretty good, I hear.
I don't know about good, but they exist. Sure.
Hold the fuck up. The fuck are you implying? I will attack with Sparkman.
Yep. 1,600.
Well, and then I will attack with
2,100. Would you like to tag out or would you like to keep him?
I will tag Laquari out into... Where is he? That's mandatory. I don't want to summon that guy. I mean, I technically do, but then if you pop the thing on it, then it kills my thing. Wait, where is... Did I not put it in? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was worried I didn't have this card in here for some fucking reason. But I'm going to special summon Dimakari.
Yep.
I will then proceed to set one card and pass.
Seems pretty good. Let's go draw standby main. And we'll run out our own Laquari if that is okay.
That is okay.
We will proceed to the battle phase.
In the beginning of battle phase,
Yep.
I activate no entry.
Yep.
And
So
all
everything on
monsters
the field
go to
gets
defense.
flipped to defense.
Yes.
Yep. So no attacks. So I'll go back to, or rather proceed to main 2. And yep, that is all I can do. So I'll just pass.
I will go standby main. I will normal summon Drillroid. And I will move both of my monsters into attack. The Makari can attack twice.
Yep.
I will attack with Drillroid, destroying Laquari.
And we can just skip right ahead. My opening hand was my single Gladiator's Return, as well as 2 of my 3 tribute monsters that I'm running. So yeah, not the greatest.
Yeah, that's not the best when you pull your one-offs, especially because the one-offs don't do anything on their own.
Yeah, I mean that's the like thing. Like I want to be able to shuffle stuff like bestiaries later on, but like pulling the one off right then and there, not the greatest. But yeah, let's go side for game 2. Yep. A lot of changes here. Surprise, surprise. Setting into some actually good cards, and hopefully we don't open as bricky of a hand this time around.
It's time for the triple confiscation turn 1.
It's something actually different that you've never seen before. I'll set a monster. And I'll set a back row and pass.
Well, normal summon.
Drillroid.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna activate confiscation.
Yep. So 1,000, and you got to pitch something from my hand.
I do not like this one, and I do not like this one, but this one, if this one goes back into the deck, assuming that you're actually playing one off of them, then it's just a dead card if I discard it. I don't think it actually matters, because if you summon this thing, I can run over it, and anything that you could run it into is arguably maybe not worthwhile. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just discard this, assuming that you only play one off.
Yep. Murmula is gone. Another one? ChamP4?
ChamP4? Nah. Gotcha. I'm actually kind of thinking that you may or may not have a bottomless trap hole.
Ooh.
So I am a little nervous, you know, just like teens, a little bit nervous that you might have a bottomless trap hole. But I know what you have in hand, so this is a safe play, assuming that you didn't sit Drillroid face down.
That would be funny. That would be funny, though.
Gaming. You know what would be funnier? If you just drew it.
That would also be quite hilarious.
So anyway, normal summon Drillroid.
Anyways, normal summon something. Not Drillroid, though. But instead, what we will be... Should I do that? I think what we'll do, we'll normal summon Dimakari. Do you have the trap hole?
No.
Alright. Special summon Test Tiger.
Test Tiger!
Yes, sir. And yep, I think what we will do is we'll attribute the Test Tiger for the effect. So we'll throw, assuming there's nothing on this.
No.
Yep. Dimakari back to the deck, and then something will come out that then counts as being summoned by a Glad Beast.
I'm surprised they just didn't make it so that this tiger counts as a glad beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be broken, but still.
Now what do I want to get here? I'm assuming your thing is gonna be a wall. But if
What do
it's
you mean?
Hoplimus, Laquari doesn't get over it, which is the problem here.
What if it's Clayman?
That is a possibility. Like, honestly, that is a possibility. I actually have to check something interesting here. So, because I'm now wondering that since that Tiger says that it is treated as if it was spell summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, but it doesn't specifically say.
No, you can't summon Spartacus.
Yeah,
it
because
has to
that's
be by the effect of Hoplimus.
yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
Because
I figured.
since I send Dimakari, could I summon Alexander? Because
No, it's
Yeah.
only by the effect of that specific.
yeah,
If it said and treated as if it was special summoned by the effect of the Gladiator Beast monster sent to the returned to the deck, or something like that, then yeah, maybe.
yeah, I figured. In that case, I think we will just get a Laquari. That'll be 2100. Then we will flip up and activate this Gladius, targeting Laquari, because I'm assuming that's going to be Hoplimus.
Yep.
And then we'll run into a battle trap.
It is Hoplimus.
Okay,
And
so
on reveal, I activate defensive tactics.
yep. So no, and that goes
and
to the
this
bottom
goes
of
into the
your
deck.
deck. Yeah. And nothing else happens. So both of us get our shuffle. So since I'm the turn player, yours happens first, assuming you want to
because I
do
go
it.
chain 2.
Yeah.
So I will top deck and view, and I will special summon Mermillo.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's face up. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it has to be face up. That's the problem.
Oh, it misses timing too. Yeah. No, never mind. It misses timing.
Is it the when?
It's when. Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Pretty sure. Let me double check that, but
yeah.
yeah. When this special summon is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast or monster,
Oh, it
target one face of
is.
monster destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah,
so you
that's.
can't do that.
Oh yeah, true. Gotcha.
All of these are when effects, by the way. Oh, that's.
Oh yeah, interesting, huh?
Except
I mean, yeah, the
Bestiary isn't.
Laquari also says like if it was.
Yeah, same with
Hoplimus,
Dimakari, and Bestiary.
So anything that
also.
has a basically when it hits the field, like it is just something and that's it.
Yeah.
It's timing. Huh. That's interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah, I did not know that. Sorry, I'm taking a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I took like 3 minutes checking the rulings before I even just asked it. Although I thought it was like pretty what I was doing, so I should have asked like just anyway. So
yeah,
no good.
Does Laquari have something that you can tag it into? Isn't it just a fusion? Or
Laquari, I don't think has a specific thing.
uh,
I don't know what Octavius is, but I'm assuming neither one of us is running
no,
it.
I think Octavius is a tribute monster, like just a straight up tribute monster.
Okay,
Like, it's
yeah.
meant to be, or you just run this thing as a tribute. I guess I'll just double check my my extra deck real quick before I finish.
Because Hoplo is for Spartacus and Limakari is for Alexander. Those are two that I know. And then Spartacus has a fusion and Laquari has a fusion.
My special summon. I guess I'll just summon Spartacus, yeah, because why not?
Yep.
And now you're gonna summon more Milo because you're not playing one-offs.
And then I will take this out. This goes back to my hand. And then we will get from our deck, you called it right, a Murmillo. There we go, main two, and we'll just pass.
Okay, I'll go standby, main. I will normal summon a Gladiator Beast Laquari. Give
Yes,
it
sir.
up, ladies and gentlemen, for
He's back.
Laquari. Good old gotcha guy Laquari. Everybody's favorite gotcha guy Laquari. Yeah.
My favorite bald streamer.
Yeah, my my favorite member of the bald gaming community.
Yep.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, it is him, the man, the myth, the legend. I can't do that still. I'm just gonna summon Hoplimus and not assume, or assume that you don't have a Drillroid, and just sit that and pass.
Yeah, you know both the cards in my hand.
Yeah, I know
the
that.
moment.
There's
Oh.
the Dio, or was it Dio McCurry, or what the fuck, and the dagger. It also had been Laquari, I don't remember. I think it was.
Yeah, you know it's the Laquari and then the dagger.
It's Laquari. You're gonna normal summon Laquari?
Yep.
You're normal summoning Laquari, I see.
Yep.
What if I say you cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen?
That's perfectly fine. So it gets banished.
I don't like that card.
And
now you're gonna flip summon Driller, right?
I mean, I've been just having it there the whole time. That would be fun.
Base.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pass on that. This is where you drill right me?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it is a Sparta. So take 1300. And then 500.
I'm just gonna take.
Yeah, you can
I'm
take
just
the
gonna
one right away since.
Then
I'm assuming another Sparta? Or are you running that only as a one-off as well?
I'm only run of it as a one-off.
Yeah, gotcha. It's fun that you brought it up with Murmillo, because I was definitely hard considering multiple of these that I figured like maybe I should run these as one-offs. But for some, I end up doing that, and for some, I ended up not.
I think running them as one-offs is sensible if you want to splash in other shit.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yep. Like, well, I wanted to splash in heroes, for example. So I decided I'm gonna run one-offs of each card that I feel like I will only ever play as, like, oh, I need a card here right now. I'm gonna do this. I need to use this as a toolbox.
Yeah.
So, yay.
Monkey. Yeah, 700 and 2100. You're not tagging out?
Oh, wait, it's probably not worth it, actually. No.
Gotcha. Draw stand by main. That's really interesting. That's actually so interesting. I mean, if that's another trap hole, nothing I can do about it. Normal summon Bestiary. Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about that.
Yeah. More monkey.
Oh Jesus, that's a lot of monkeys.
Mini monkey.
It's funny that we wanted to reduce the chances of sacking with champion back cards, but obviously, like, now they're being limited, it becomes even more sackier, because if one side gets them and the other doesn't, it just like...
Fuck, maybe we should just get rid of champion, but that's not good either. I don't think that's good either.
I think this is fine. I mean, that's just how it's gonna go sometimes.
I'm just wondering if I should tag out or not. I'm wondering what can you have that in this situation that would... I mean, Lakari dying here doesn't mean anything, basically. If you get something and just crash it into the monkey, and the monkey gives me something out, and you get Murmillo out, and you kill the Lakari, that doesn't matter. So it's just better for me not to tag out at this point, because it's 2.1k. You can't deal with that on paper. You can't even use drill word on it.
Oh, that's so ass.
Just
Does
like
that actually... I mean, yeah, I have to go for it. So... does that actually... I don't think it makes sense. Yeah, I think I gotta go for it. So, normal, another bestiary.
Okay. Time to just like Valor it when you Ash Blossom it when you use it.
Yeah, I'll just put this in to get another 300, but I unfortunately have to kill a monkey here to get the effect off. So you lose what, 1100?
Yep.
Yeah, 1100, and then you get to special something.
Special summon.
And then
I special summon.
This goes to my hand. This goes to my deck.
Special summon.
And yeah, these don't count. Yeah, okay. Imagine it, bro. Monkey would be so good if those counted.
That would be broken.
Yeah,
I think.
So the middle Lakari has 2100, right? Yeah.
Yes. Hello, baby.
The only thing that I can get here that might buy me a turn is a Hoplamus. And then I will... Laquari was... Actually, I have it in my own... Actually, so I can check. I think Laquari was the 2-man. Yeah, I was going to say, like, if Laquari was the 1-man, then I just perish here, but I mean... Yeah. Does that matter? No. Yeah, I'll just pass.
Well, it's Soul Taker.
Yep.
But let me think about this real quick before I actually do this. If I swing with the Lakari into this, we both tag out. I lose 600 life points. We both tag out. I tag out second. So you tag out Hoplamus first into Spartacus or whatever. I tag out into Murmillo, and Murmillo pops the thing.
Yep.
And then, do you have any plays next turn?
Depends on what I draw in my hand. Nope.
We should just... I think that's more interesting. I would rather do that. Legitimately, I would rather do that.
Sure.
I will swing with this.
Yep. And then you take what, 600 and then it's me first, and then you actually... The thing is, like, if I don't know what you have, like, would I... Because, like, what is my... Because the logical tag out, if it didn't miss timing, then would be Murmillo to pop your Lakari. But since it misses timing, I can't get that. So the only things that I can get are Lakari and Hoplamus and Spartacus. Spartacus gets me one card out of my deck. It's a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think I even if I didn't know Soul Take, I think I still like would tag it out for Spartacus. Could thin out my deck.
This timing.
Oh wait, yeah, in that in that case, yeah, I wouldn't tag out. I would just have this, but yeah, I can just send it into the grave since you're gonna pop it and take the 1000, and then I'll lose.
Wait, no, I'm not. I'm popping it with Murmillo.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, because it makes more sense. And then I will...
Actually, yeah, that's just lethal, because Laquari and Test Type kills me. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't do it, because this is at the end of battle phase if I tag out.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing this, because it would have been lethal otherwise, and I wanted to rather have...
You just want to prolong my suffering. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. What did you draw?
It's another one of these. So
I was playing one of those.
Yeah, I just drew bricks. I was playing what? I had 3 Manica, 2 of that, and then 1 of the Halberd. I sided out one of the Halberds as one of the cards that I sided for confiscation. But yeah, I just drew this really bad.
Yeah, like you had the worst possible draws you could
And
have.
like 2 bottomless was just like nothing I can
Yeah,
do
well,
about that.
in the first 10 cards too, by the way, along with the Soul Taker and
Yeah.
Confiscation. Like,
I had
that
all
was
I
disgusting.
obviously decided needed 3 bottomless and 3 confiscation and 2 ultimate offering as well, but just didn't see those cards.
I think I cited in 2 Confiscation, 3 Bottomless, and 1 Ultimate.
Oh, 2, and you even still saw it. That's unlike. But yeah, Soul Taker was just a card. I didn't know this was a card that was in the set, I'll be honest.
Wait, really?
No, yeah, I wasn't playing it. I did not even see it.
Oh. Let me just make sure that it was in the set.
It probably was like
Yeah,
I have definitely like had a habit of at the start, like at some point I did like every time there was like 2 things that I looked at. I was like spell trap destruction and monster destruction. I just literally searched up like cards that just said destroy, but at some point I just stopped doing that. Probably should bring that back again because like I really have a habit of missing stuff like that. So what was your? Did you have any hero stuff, or just like Sparksman?
I cited out of it.
Oh, gotcha.
So what I had was the means to summon everything other than Infernoing.
Oh yeah, you have the exact same extra deck as I do, but obviously I had nothing to get into other than the Glad Bee stuff. I had like one of the cards in my side was where we were talking about the like before this a little bit. I said like I have 14 out of my 15 cards in my side were from the champion packs. Didn't side into them, by the way, since they were not everything. There were what were the champ pack cards? I had 2 ultimate offering, 3 kinetic soldier. I sided into 2. 3 Hydrogadon, didn't side into any. Then the bottomless and confiscation that I sided into. And the last card was a light imprisoning mirror. One of like literally just like, okay, if lightning golem is a factor, like, but that's the thing. Like it's for a single card. So I was like, I mean, it's a continuous trap, so maybe it'll be relevant. But I didn't want to go too hard on the like, okay, what if lightning golem comes up?
Yeah.
And since I was in hard Glad Beast, I didn't want to have a Dark Imprison Mirror because it stops my own Gaiodas.
I feel like Lightning Golem was the only one you would want to play out of these.
Yeah.
But the problem is, there's cards that swing over Clayman in this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
it's like Laquari is big, any of the tributes are big. You even have like attack boosting with the field spell and the equips.
I think heroes were just not big.
Yeah, I mean, God Beasts are just like easily the best thing.
It's kind of disgusting once again, just how like strong everything else in the set is.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't playing any of like the Witch Doctor Sparta. I thought that card was like so good, like being a 2k wall and especially like in the mirror, like actually being a very threatening bird card.
I opted for not that, this.
Fair enough.
And this. I opted to have these along with this thing.
Yeah, I was not playing any Respite. I had the literally the one-off kind of just mill everything. So usually it doesn't let you mill that many. Yeah, no.
I milled 10 per
10 is the maximum, yeah. But I had initially the like literally one of Gladiator's return. I wasn't playing in Respite because I just felt like even in my first like build I had I think 1 because I was like, okay, Spartacus can get me the equips that I can obviously send for it as well, but like Spartacus being a specific summonable only by a specific card, I figured like it was too inconsistent, and then like finding two Gladiator Beast cards in my hand as well as the card itself. Like I felt like would just be too bricky.
I feel like if you have 3 copies of this card, it actually becomes significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means that you have more Gladiator Beast cards that you
Yeah,
can use to
because
shuffle
obviously
for
it's
it.
counts itself still, which is nice.
Yeah, and it also counts for Gladiator's Return, which doesn't count for this card, by the way.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse than Respite. Because if you have more copies of Respite than you have a Return, then Return can return the Respites to get you them back, and then
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah,
it
go
just
ahead.
helped with like making sure that the key cards that you want to be in your deck would stay in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main motivation behind using it. Same with the Gladiators, the single one-off Gladiators Return. I felt like it would never be relevant until like late game, and in
Yeah.
late game, it's only relevant if we're both using Drill Roids and Soul Takers to destroy our field, basically, or just constantly running over things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking that it probably not go to a situation where we can just comfortably trade blows constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because to me, like, especially like I was running a really high monster count. I think I had like 25 monsters. To me, it was like I don't think the games are gonna be like blowouts. I definitely didn't expect them to be as aggressive. So I figured like in the mid to late game, like I can use it to recycle stuff like Murmillo and Bestiarity that can just hit the field and generate like immediate advantage for me. But I did obviously like opening it in my opening hand was not what I wanted, and the games ended up being pretty like fast anyway. But that's how it be. And like obviously like especially like when it was still like enough to be, I think it's like this can be warrant to be called a mirror match still. Like obviously like you're opening with more like bottle mass and just over like keeping up tempo. It's very hard to catch up in the mirror. Because like back then you still like you don't have a one card combo that's just on normal summon gets you a board full of Link 4s. Which is a good thing.
Eventually, that will be a thing that happens.
Yep.
Maybe not in a single set, but
Yeah, like throughout the years for sure. But yeah. I mean, still, you can still like definitely see that there's a reason why we decided to make the rules change all on champion pack cards, because they are definitely better than your average card and like very polarizing. But I definitely like do think this is a step towards the right direction, because they are still like it's very important to showcase, because like just how influential they are, even if it is like in the limits of a single set episode like this. So I feel like it would be doing them a disservice to completely drop them. But like this at least gives us the game one to for the vanilla set cards to shine. And so like they're probably gonna also be just in general less champion back cards, since we can only play them as side cards. So I still think it's a step towards the right direction. Now it was just an unfortunate circumstance that the one game we had without them, I just opened up literally the worst possible hand. So that's something that just happens sometimes.
Sometimes you lose games.
Yep, that's how it is. Next week we have Phantom Darkness. Whatever set houses Dark Arm Dragon.
Dude,
So
let me just like put this into a frame of reference to you. We have Phantom Darkness
in Champion Pack
and
5.
Light of Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Duelist Genesis.
What was in Duelist Genesis?
Duelist Genesis is Stardust Dragon. We're almost done with GX.
Wait, what? Wait.
Yeah. We have 2 sets left of GX.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Season 4 had like 1 booster.
That just like flashbanged me. I was like, yeah, we're approaching like 2008. When was Synchros? Like it was like late 2009 or something, right?
It's 2008.
Jesus.
Like 2008.
That is actually insane. Okay, so we are very rapidly approaching the time when actually like we start probably decently consistently seeing extra deck cards actually hit the field.
And we will most definitely have to start thinking about archetypes in the near future
Yeah.
and how they will work in relation
Legacy
to one another.
support, yeah.
Yeah, because for
Yeah.
example, we have Gear Town in Duelist Genesis, which is a entirely dead card now because it can't summon anything because the set doesn't have a single other ancient gear card.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be something definitely to consider. Also,
Oh, and Glad Beasts.
after Legacy of Darkness, before Light of Destruction, there is a structure deck episode in the works.
Which one?
It was Rise of the Dragon Lords, as well as, what was the other one? I can't remember now. Let me check real quick. Assuming we want to do it at that point.
Oh, Dark Emperor. Yeah, we definitely want to do it there because after that it becomes 5D structures. So
yeah,
I think that makes perfect sense.
But yeah, technical. That's actually so crazy that we're. Yeah, that was a flashbang and a half for me, like for sure. I'd not been keeping track. I just literally a week or two ago, I was like, man, we were already at over 30 episodes. That's kind of crazy. But I did not even think oh yeah, we're soon gonna hit synchros. That was still a very distant thing that I definitely was not thinking about at all. But
I don't know how many main booster packs there are in the series actually. Let me see. Because I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. At some point, definitely felt yeah, this is something that we'll just keep doing. It's finishing probably very unlikely, but now that realizing that now makes me think there's a more than probable chance that we'll actually finish the series, which is
I just
neat.
have to say we're in series 6 out of 12.
Series? What do you mean in series?
We have these boosters are released in series, so they have the first series, which is volume 1 through 7, which we basically didn't have. It was all condensed into Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah.
And you had a couple of sets that were other sets condensed into one. Then there's then worldwide releases have been Soul of the Duelist through Ending Justice. Those were all worldwide releases. Same with Power of the Duelist through Light of Destruction, and then Duelist Genesis through Legacy of Destruction are all worldwide sets. And we've already covered basically maybe 40% of all booster packs, main booster sets.
That's actually so insane to think about. Yeah. Holy shit. I mean, there's a lot of structures and stuff like that in there as well, but still that's so crazy to think about.
I think this is kind of unnerving in a way.
That's scary, but also kind of neat. But yeah, interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, I did not even realize.
There's not even that many sets before we hit XYZs.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I love XZ's. XZ summoning is probably my favorite summoning mechanic still. I'm a big fan of it, so it'll be very and definitely no other reason, and definitely zero bias to a certain photonic archetype has to do with lights and something with galaxies and something like that. Definitely nothing to do with an archetype like that.
Surely not. No.
But yeah. So Legacy of Darkness as well as Champion Pack 5. Can't wait. Next week. And the loser of that gets to pick whether they play the Dark Emperor or Rise of the Dragon Lords before we go into Light of Destruction. And then onwards to 5Ds. That's a sentence I did not expect to be saying in... honestly, in 2023, probably. Or, it would have been very late in my mind.
If we keep doing these every week, from now until about February, we'll be at Zeal. At XYZs.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's not counting, any structures.
It is. It's literally accounting for that.
That is insane, actually.
Because assuming that we're going to have 4 of them, we'll be in where it will be done with 5 days at the end or halfway point of February, give or take. It's about 3 months. It's 12 sets.
That's actually still like pretty exciting, but also like you said, Alec, that's kind of unnerving to think about. But interesting to put things into perspective like that, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the absolute wash that happened today, and us sort of looking forward to the future and seeing what lies in wait. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and tune in next time for Legacy of Darkness when we see whoever gets their dad to hit the field first, or second, and then pops the other person's dad and then wins the game.
Who knows?
Regardless, there is no questions that we're gonna have another mirror for sure. If Jeexx finds a way to play that, then more power to him. I will not even attempt. There will be 3 of them in my deck, and that's the end of story. So, see y'all next week. Peace.